Hey guys, we're back with another Marvel Legends review, taking a look at another figure from that Gamerverse Abomination wave. We have got the latest Thunderbolt to be added to the crew. We've got MACH-1. So we've got him here in our standard packaging for the line, of course. Figure there in the window. Really digging that blue background on this particular figure. Makes him pop really well. Artwork on the side, and then a bigger shot of that same picture on the back with a little write-up, our Build-A-Figure, and our lineup for the wave. So let's do it. Let's pull him out and take a look. And here we go, out of the package, our MACH-1 figure. This guy, for me, is kind of an interesting one because I don't have a great deal of attachment to this character. I don't have a huge attachment to the Thunderbolts in general, really, despite the fact that I read that series quite extensively for a long time. And I also don't have a Beetle figure, so I kind of feel like I need one now that I have this guy. So let's see what this guy can do. He is kind of weird because he's honestly pretty restricted. He does have some odd movement potential. So we've got a head that can look up, but he can't, for me, he can't look far enough up to do a really good flying pose. He needs to be able to go, I don't know, just a little bit further back, but there's this collar piece back here which kind of gets in the way. You do have full rotation. He does look down really good, and then there's a little bit of bobble, but not too much. Arms go out at the shoulders. You do have these caps to deal with. They are rubbery. They do move, and they move really well, but they still look kind of funky if you bend them too far. And then you've also got the wings to deal with if you want to go too far back, but he still moves pretty good. You've got your bicep swivel. We've got double jointed elbows, of course. You've got lateral hinges and rotation at those wrists as usual. He does have an ab crunch, but it really only does that. Doesn't do too much, and he goes backwards like half a click, and then you've got a waist twist. Legs only go out that far. They kick forward, but they honestly feel really tight, almost like they don't want to do it. And then they kick backwards a decent bit. You've got your thigh cut, double jointed knees. They go back pretty far. And then we've got rocker, and you've got hinges down at those ankles. So nothing too crazy, but he is limited in some weird ways. Like, he's not the most dynamic figure by any means that we've seen recently. Now, all that said and done, you probably know where I'm going next. The looks, that's the main reason why I wanted this figure. Again, I don't have a huge attachment to this character or any of his versions of MACH-1 through however many there have been, or a huge attachment to the Thunderbolts, although I would like to have a big team of them. I wanted this figure because I do think he looks really cool, because there's just a lot of stuff going on here. That's really what it is. There's a whole bunch of stuff going on with this figure. So you've got, of course, the kind of apparatus that sits on the figure, and this is actually cut into the torso and then stuck inside. So this is connected to the shoulder pad, so it's all one piece, and then this white piece is, you can almost sort of see it. There are kind of cut marks in there where it's kind of stuck in there and glued in place into the actual buck itself. You've got the big set of wings on the back, which do look pretty good. I kind of wish that the white was a little bit, I guess, maybe brighter or maybe more pearlescent, because it definitely looks, it just looks kind of plain. I wish it had a little bit more luster to it, but the blue on this figure is really what draws me in, and it's definitely what pops. So the sculpt on this is pretty good. I mean, there's not a whole lot to it. It's just some line work. Proportionally looks really good, and all of the little pods all over the figure look really good as far as those. I do have one little odd hit of blue on this one, which I'll probably take off with some acetone or something. And then you've got the lightning bolt insignia right there on his chest. But it's all about the colors on the actual bodysuit. So the blue, the dark blue that fades into the lighter blue, I really like that. That's definitely the standout feature aspect of this figure for me. And you know, it's one of those things where this is a what you see is what you get, so you kind of have to be excited about him going in, because he doesn't have any accessories, just like, what, a number of the figures in this wave. So you've got a lot of that kind of swirly, pearlescent metallic plastic, which I've said time and again that I really dig. I really like that stuff. Tons of line work all over here. Paint is really crisp and clean. I don't really have any issues with bleeding or any kind of the fuzzy line work that we've seen somewhat recently. It's all about this pearlescent plastic, and then this particular, you know, very mechanical, robotic kind of design, which I really dig. He's got, of course, the blasters here on his forearms, which are kind of the main weaponry as far as what you're going to get out of this figure. He doesn't come with any accessories, so, you know, no blast effects, and there's also no holes in them, so you can't try to reuse like the recent Black Widow effect pieces or anything like that, which is definitely kind of a bummer. I was hoping that there'd be ports in there. but there aren't. And then he has gripping hands, but nothing to grip, which is definitely kind of a bummer. He needs some fist or some splayed finger hands, I think. But he does look really cool. You know, for my money, he's going to stand on a shelf next to, you know, Citizen V or something like that, and he'll look really cool standing there because the colors do pop. This sculpt is definitely unique, and he's certainly not like anything else that you normally would have on your shelf. And of course that head sculpt plays into it as well because of the fact that it has one of the few hits of a non-white and blue paint on this figure. So you've got the kind of dark red, almost maroon color with this slightly orangey pinkish color for the eyes. And of course, you know, this thing does kind of look slightly insectoid, which, you know, kind of a hint at who this guy might be. And I just think it looks good. It's very robotic, very aerodynamic as well. It kind of looks like a flight mask, which works really, really well for me. Colors are clean and crisp. The sculpt is good. So there's a lot to like about the way this figure looks. He just sort of misses the mark a little bit when it comes to, well, accessories really, because I think he's missing some key things in terms of those effect parts possibly, and then just maybe the right set of hands. So overall, this figure's okay. He definitely does kind of fall into that camp of you're going to get your money's worth depending on how invested you are in his design or in his character, I think, because he does have some movement issues in terms of his articulation. He's not as dynamic as you'd probably want, but when it comes down to it, it's all about the look on this figure. And I think for the most part, they got it down pretty well. The overall design of Mach-1 is pretty cool. That blue color scheme, the contrasting dark and light metallic blues, is absolutely fantastic, works really well. The only real thing that I truly wish they could have fixed on this figure was the hands. He just needs different hands. The gripping hands with nothing to grip and blasters in his wrists, they just don't go together, so that's kind of a weird choice. Maybe I'll see if I can find some different ones out there that suit him a little bit better. But otherwise, I do like this guy. You know, it's one of those things where we might be getting towards a more Thunderbolt-y kind of wave down the road, which would be pretty cool. And for folks that are interested in that team, this is definitely one to snatch up. So that's going to do it for this look at the Marvel Legends Abomination Wave Mach-1. Let me know what you guys think. Feel free to like, comment, subscribe, and share. And until next time.